Howdy. Can you hear me?
Well, hello.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Hey, I am getting no display on the giant TV.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. For some reason, Zoom shuts my volume down to 40 something percent when it starts. So everybody else is quiet.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? I can hear everybody.
Ah, I see a different background, Art. Does that
You
mean you're in
do?
Ohio?
No, I'm
No.
in Northern California, in Fremont, California, and I'm sitting in my family room in my lounger, and I'm trying a different machine today because I managed to screw up my primary desktop. So, at any rate,
Okay. Well,
uh,
So what you running on that one?
you asking OS
Yes.
would be, I'm sorry,
Yes.
Linux Mint 22.1.
Sweet.
Let me adjust my speaker a little bit.
I am still not getting any display on the giant TV from the laptop. Just weird.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Oh, that's better. Yeah, this is definitely an experiment today. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you actually sound better than a couple weeks ago when it was a lot of just stuff.
Okay, so you guys are live today as opposed to virtual. So,
We are, but so far, I seem like I'm it. And Patty's down there at the end doing Patty stuff. Patty's not paying any attention to us. She helped me carry the stuff in and I convinced her to stay.
so you are you brought your
I brought my pumpkin patch.
pumpkin patch, okay.
If we could get some of the wires out of the way, you might actually be able to see.
Well, that's quite a collection. Very impressive. So have you made any new ones since last week?
Maybe these little ones are new.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Um,
And those are
well, I ordered some LEDs to go up inside of them and they haven't gotten here yet. So we'll see if they actually get here in time.
okay.
They may
Well,
not. They may not get here in time. Um,
excuse me.
I don't know if you can tell on the video. Um, let's see if I can.
Well, that's
I don't know if you could tell. These are moving. There's four of them that are actually spinning.
that's not obvious to me.
Yeah. I can kind of sort of see it on the video. Kind of sort of. I can actually see one of the servo horns moving more than anything else.
You got them sitting on servos?
Yeah. I've got I took one of those M5 motor drivers that
Yeah.
has four servo. It could either do four servos or two motors, and it just seemed easier. It just seemed like the easy option to do it.
Okay.
Um, and of course, this guy, when he changes color, he senses motion and he makes noise. I don't have the speaker turned on right now. And the other four orange pumpkins are just running fast LED demo 100.
Okay.
And they're actually color changing, but because they're behind orange, it looks more like flickering in candles.
Okay.
So it's a good effect anyway.
Yeah, I see some flickering there.
Yeah. Well, you know this room is pretty light. I
was
wish
gonna
we could
say
turn
that-
the I wish we could turn the lights off again. Because it looks really impressive with minimal light.
Okay.
No, they won't let us turn the lights off.
Can you turn the fluorescence off?
No, apparently not. Says they're off. They're not.
Well, we see the flashing on a couple of pumpkins there. Or at least I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one and the one closest to your shirt there.
This guy.
No, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you'd kill the overhead lights, I think you'd be in good shape. But,
Yeah.
very impressive. So, how many reels of
Too many. Too many.
what's up?
So basically I showed my sister what I had printed, and my sister said, "Oh, can I get some?" And I said, "No, because I'm out of filament." So she bought me another roll of filament.
Okay.
So I went through two rolls of filament basically between what I've got here and what she ended up with. I got almost two rolls of filament. And then last week, I think last week, after our meeting, I went and bought another roll from Ray. I still have most of it, but I printed so many pumpkins. There's so many pumpkins. You can see, maybe you might be able to tell these little pumpkins here and a couple of these pumpkins and that pumpkin that you said you can kind of make out that it's glowing. Those are all actually different color. They're orange, but it's a different color orange. It's a darker color orange. So that's the filament I got from Ray. And I'm trying to figure out if I should use my eyeball from last year, but I don't know where I would put it.
Well, the one in your hand has an eyeball on it.
Yes, I don't know where I should put it. thought about just laying it up there like so. Like the pumpkin is falling over. And I might do that. That is a styrofoam pumpkin that I found at Walmart for
Oh,
$1. Found that at Walmart for $1 and cut a hole in it. Put a round display in it.
So you didn't make that one, in other
No,
words.
I didn't make that one. Well, I cut a hole in it. Does that count?
Modified it, okay. Well, the blinking eyeball is definitely working. There's no question about that.
I'm sorry.
I said the blinking eyeball is definitely working.
Yeah, that actually shows up really well.
Yeah, it certainly does.
I think it would help if the ones that were turning had faces on them.
Yeah. So they changed as they rotated.
I hear you. Pull those four off and put these guys down there or up there. I could do that. That should be easy enough to do. I've got 4 of those pumpkins.
You wanted to go for real fun, put in a people sensor and have them all facing backwards. And then when somebody approaches, they all spin around and aim at that person. And as they walk by, they follow.
Mm.
Going up, down would be difficult, but just following left to right would be relatively simple, I would think.
I could do that. Maybe. That might be for version 2 next year.
Okay.
You know, this actually, I don't remember. I think that troll project, the prank box project was from 2016, maybe. It might be 9 or 10 years old at this point. And I finally found something to actually use it wisely for. And I'm not real sure that it's wise. Anything new going on with you guys?
Nothing
Well,
with me. I apologize for not being there. I was getting calls up until 5 o'clock.
Work. That darn thing.
Yep.
I found out some.
Didn't win the lottery, so
Uh,
yeah,
so
still going to work.
you still have to work. Ah, Mike's here. Is there traffic? No, you just fashionably late. Ooh. I actually found a larger USB hub, so I technically don't need this anymore. I don't technically need it either. After you drug it all the way down here.
Oh, well, the gang is coming in a little late. Okay. Hi, Mike.
I'm sure we can find a use for. I can't get the TV to work again, so we're stuck on the little screen.
Is it plugged in?
It looks like it is, but who knows? Because the cable was missing a couple weeks ago, so 3 weeks ago.
So Barry, you're not incognito today.
just out of frame.
So still incognito. Ha ha.
Ha ha! I found out something interesting that you may or may not know about. Did you know that Hobby Lobby sells filament for 3D printers?
I did not.
And it's reasonably priced and okay.
Difficult for me to get past the potpourri.
Well,
So they also sell 3D printers?
they don't sell the printers, but they have a ton of accessories.
Amazing.
That's interesting.
Like various and sundry tools that you might need. The HDMI port for it is that black wire here. It's down there. And I don't know what they've done. Maybe they didn't do anything. But, the reusable filament spools, they sell for $3 a piece. Oh, please don't unplug that. That will kill the power to the laptop. Oh, I'm sorry.
Will it?
It will.
Yeah,
And the laptop doesn't have a good battery, so.
I'll have to go give Hobby Lobby a try. They're like a mile from my house.
So
There's one down there on 32, I think.
Yep, it's about a mile from my house.
they, me and Patty went and we bought what they call Rainbow. And it printed pretty good. It's supposed to change colors midstream, but I, unlike the Rainbow at Micro Center that has short filament strips, their filament strips are a little bit longer in this, so it didn't change on a benchy, but it printed pretty good. And then they sell something called wood, which everybody says isn't wood, and I don't think it's wood, but it does have a weird texture to it.
Certainly looks like wood.
It sort of looks like wood, but it's some sort of fake wood.
Like pecan with no grain.
Yeah, it does have a weird texture to it. The wood was $16. And the Rainbow was the most expensive, and it was $20. But most of their basic filament is like $13
This is a Hobby Lobby.
at Hobby Lobby. I was told that this was an experiment to see if people would be interested. They have a very limited selection of filament right now, but if they can sell the stuff, they will probably end up getting more. And apparently they're selling pretty well. So there's a good shot that they'll.
Not very many places that sell it that cheap, and you got to pay shipping. So
Yeah. So, and it's not horrible filament. Nobody can figure out who actually manufactures it though. So all the online reviews are kind of like, it's decent, but I don't know who makes it. But almost everybody said that the marble, they've got a marble filament, and they said that is the one that is overpriced. Don't buy it. It should be priced closer to the $13, maybe $15, but it's priced at like 20. So
Meh. Black, white, red, blue, yellow.
yeah, your basic colors and your basic PLA is really, really reasonable. It's $13. So.
I'm thinking the last stuff I got at Micro Center was 18,
It,
maybe 16.
it probably was somewhere between 15 and 24, yeah. Micro Center seems like they're all over the place in price.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to be consistently cheap on most things, and now
Yeah.
they've gotten kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's partially a supply and demand issue. So I know some of their prices are starting to skip around and go up and come down and
filament is very bad about that. Some of it is 15, some of it's,
well, like the monitors, the one monitor they had in there for 69 the other day, did it just, I just came from there, they were 89. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird that they changed the price on that. But then they had like some of their hard drives are down. And it's like, why is the 5 terabyte drive cheaper than the 4 terabyte drive? And I'm like, that, yeah.
the HDMI was unplugged. The HDMI was up. Okay. That might fix the problem.
Somebody probably unplugged it to plug something in.
See what they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be on 3.
So how many feet of filament are on a typical reel?
A kilogram.
A kilogram's worth, yeah.
Somebody figured
They
that out.
sell it by weight, not by length.
Yeah, it's sold by weight, which I think is kind of weird.
So who manufactures the most of the filament?
China.
I mean, technically, I don't know who actually makes the filament for Micro Center. I know they don't make it.
I'd assume it's China.
I would assume it's China too.
All the EPA laws in most countries, that's why all the plastic stuff's moved there.
Well, it probably would help if I clicked apply. And see if we actually get a picture.
There might be another couple of countries, but I'd be really surprised if any of it gets imported from them. Unless you can undercut.
There it is. We have a picture. Keep it. Yes.
Da da da.
Da, da, da.
Hi, people.
Thank you. I wanted to.
Well, I was looking at it, I mean,
Oh, and now it's broken again.
You moved it.
I did. I did bad.
Unmove it. So the last 2 spools I bought were inland PLA, 1 spool of black, 1 spool of white. They were $18 each. So if I can save $5 a spool by going to Hobby Lobby, I can hold my breath that long.
What is it?
And
Just buy them off or off bid FTA or whatever, fast track. The Schoolhouse Road sells it for about $7 or $8 a spool.
as a bump, yeah, but that would be a good deal too, if you could actually get it for that.
Oh, you do, but you gotta bid at the end because usually somebody will try to ninja you in the last minute. Then you probably bid it up to $9 or $10 if they're wanting it worse than you do. And I've got 4 rolls from there. So I haven't printed anything, but I've got some spools.
See, you just made it more likely that you'll have to pay more.
Yeah,
I have no idea what just happened.
I figured I'm not buying any more till I actually print something.
I would feel responsible except that I'm a good 8 feet away.
Didn't touch nothing.
Well, not recently.
Yeah, since you fixed it. He's the one that moved the laptop. And
I
it all
moved the
went
laptop and that broke it.
probably a short in a connector up here. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Somebody's broke the
Broke this. That's
Cable.
probably why it was disconnected
at the TV.
Yeah. Ah, okay, well. The last time we were here, the wire going into the wall was missing altogether, so there was no chance of,
Yeah, I don't know how many times it's been bruised since, every time, about every 3 months.
what. I like the idea that it's there, but people are not gentle with it. They abuse it, so.
Well, it's HDMI is extremely finicky and none of it's built well enough to hold up the slightest accident.
Which
So,
is very bizarre why one of my 3D printers is using an HDMI cable to go to the print head. It is the most bizarre. And it is the most picky. I mean, that cable has to be just right, and the slightest jerkiness of the print head causes it to do weird, stupid crap.
we spent, I don't know how much money on a video table at Joyful instead of buying a commercially made one for like $2,000 with it all mounted in it. We probably spent $3 or $4,000 building one and having to replace half the cables 2 or 3 times because the idiot people, tripped on the wire and ripped half of it out and broke the heads off the HDMI box where it mounted into the table.
Is that the output from your laptop? And how long a cable do you have?
It's longer than I need, but it won't go to the TV.
Yeah.
We tried that one week.
Probably could, but you have to move it
It's not long enough to get to the TV.
over. Oh, it is.
It's a very awkward. You're just having a hard time seeing the screen. That's. I know what's going on. Those eyes, once you get a little older, they don't quite work.
Well, you'd rather,
Well, and they got it mounted within like 1.5 inches of the wall.
Yeah,
so people can't do what you're doing.
they want to stop you. Remember, I don't know if you remember when the TV was mounted up in the corner,
Yeah.
but everything was exposed. I mean, you could just plug whatever you wanted into it.
No, I never understood why they do what they do. Why they put the plugs all the way in the back of something you can't reach.
Yeah, or up inside a baffle with a little symbol printed in black on black.
Yeah, against the wall.
Yeah.
Or the mounting plate.
Now it's not even showing up in the. Now it's not even showing up in the computer though.
Oh, unplug the laptop and plug the laptop back.
Oh.
Oh,
No, there was a weird crash warning a couple of screens ago. It said something about restarting the desktop. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like what I want to do.
HDMI, gotta love it. I got a 150-foot cable if anybody wants it. Doesn't appear to be broke, but I've never had a lot of luck with it. Yeah. I got it off an auction for like $1 or something. I figured it was probably broke, but it didn't appear to be broke, but I never have gotten it. I think there's a mash point near the end of one of the plugs.
I mean, that long, it's got to have at least a couple of dollars worth of copper in it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then it's like HDMI, the wire's so freaking thin. There's like 20 wires in a little bundle.
Yeah, I think my laptop, when it did whatever it did, it probably shorted something, and now I'm going to have to restart the thing, which I don't know if we want to do that or not.
Good try, sir.
I'm sorry.
At least we know where the problem is now.
Yeah, the little clip that holds the Cat 5 cable into the connection. I stepped on that and broke it. So we'll be working on the internet.
That's off.
And I tied it together. I put scotch tape on it. I put rubber bands
Yeah.
on it.
All of those. I just cut it off and put a new end on it.
Yeah, I can do that, but it's such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, no, I understand that too. About the third time it comes out, I swap the cable, but I got the
Well,
stuff
this is
that
the
makes
cable
me do it.
runs from the second floor down to the router in the basement, so
Yeah,
I'm not swapping that.
well, you're not supposed to step on those.
You're not supposed to step on that.
Well, you say you don't want to break the stuff that runs through walls.
Barry, you're talking about not breaking the stuff that runs through the walls.
Just saying. Been there, done that.
Give it one more shot.
You know, it was like when I had it strung behind the table and said, don't walk behind the table. This is really delicate. And when 5 minutes later, the plant guy walked right through it and ripped it out. So
Is it HDMI 1? I thought that's what it came up on.
It said 3 last time, but
Vicente,
Vicente's here.
the box out of my car.
That is.
I said, that looks like the box out of my car.
It's my Halloween box. Scary Amazon stuff.
I brought stuff to give to Steve, but
Wow.
he's
See,
gonna skip.
whatever happened last time.
You were busy printing.
Yes, I've been very busy printing. Whatever happened, it crashed to the display driver. And now no displays are showing up. But amazingly enough, we have a display, so.
Hey, you know, Steve told me that you could reset the display drivers. And we can get with the button combination was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if I reset the display drivers, won't that kick me out of Zoom?
Yeah, pretty sure it will.
Yeah. I thought so.
That would be a init 3 followed by an init 5.
Yeah.
Eyeball. The eyeball.
Here you go, Vicente.
Nice.
Ready?
This is Art.
Yeah, Art and Steve.
I feel like I need to come there just to play with the cables myself.
Yeah. It's random. And scary and loud.
Where is the
I said,
Benji?
Steve put the bucket of candy right behind us so that kids have to reach over it.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby is selling filament. That was $20 for, they called that rainbow filament. That was 15 for wood filament.
Bamboo filament or wood?
Wood. WOOD, but it's not real wood. It's
Well, it is probably just
I like,
not like you're used to.
it's
where is this filament in Hobby Lobby also? They are selling filament and 3D printers or just filament?
a bunch of accessories. No printers, not yet. Maybe
PLA, both?
PLA. And their basic filament is $13. And they've got
Alright, so
it's kind of an experiment at this point to see if they can actually sell the stuff. But from what I understand, they're selling quite a large amount.
so people know that they had it, they're gonna start getting
I
it.
will buy something.
Yeah,
Because it's a whole lot better than driving all the way to Micro Center.
well,
No instructions.
Hobby Lobby seems like they're all over the place, even in places that don't have electronics and that kind of where you
Oh,
would be stuck ordering online. So for a couple of dollars more than what you could get it for online, just go and pick it up at Hobby Lobby.
For a couple dollars less, but it was like, I'm not seeing.
The stuff that I got from Ray, I found online for $10 a roll with free shipping, which wasn't a horrible deal,
It sounds like.
but you're waiting for it. I mean,
Yeah.
Right. But
so for $13,
I download the sounds from.
get it. I mean,
from the web,
and be done with it.
Three files. Yeah. and we put it in.
I would look at buying it in bulk, just because it's, to me, it just sounds like what it costs to buy a roll at Micro Center. Seems stupid to me.
Now, Micro Center's got, I mean, if you need a selection of stuff, Micro Center's definitely.
But I'm just saying, that's the only place I know to even go physically get it, so.
Well, I mean, Hobby Lobby now, but yeah.
Micro Center has their own brand, right? Of fight film.
Well, they do, but I don't know who makes it. Somebody makes it.
Yeah, of course.
But you know, Micro Center has just about every kind of filament you could possibly think of.
Not really.
They
They
don't
have
have
a-
the carbon stuff.
I say they have a lot of colors and like PLA, and they actually, the fact that they're starting to carry ABS and SAS and stuff like that.
They've been
No
carrying
special-
ABS for a while, and they've been carrying.
No special stuff, hard plastic. or-
Yeah, they're starting to carry tough.
They've got a few, but you gotta watch. That's their problem too, because they've actually pulled, like, they have it in the back now. They don't put it out on the shelf because people are thinking it's normal PLA and it's destroying their heads. Cause they got like different diameter and stuff too, but they don't have.
Yep.
Some of the real exotically weird stuff, but they got like or was it PPEG or whatever?
Yeah.
They pulled that, put
Or
that back.
letters.
Yeah,
Yeah, changing all the time.
The spring trimmer section at Lowe's isn't a good place for those.
used to be. Then they changed the shape of their filament. So it won't run through your head.
Yeah, it used to be very similar stuff.
It was the same stuff.
Many years ago.
Oh, I like it.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, bring that.
And Arduino now.
Oh, I think we just disconnected the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Are they still there?
They are still there.
We're here. You're not.
It's the camera that got. Oh, hi.
There you go.
That shouldn't have gone anywhere just picking it up, or did it pull out the back?
It pulled out the back.
Oh, is it magnetic attachment or?
Yes, because it's the long cable that I've got.
I was just trying to show them the
I know.
speaker.
Well, of course it is. Let's, let's have a dozen problems. Let's have a dozen problems
Well, at
today.
this point, you might as well restart X.
Yeah. Think of that myself.
Well, if he does that, then they'll probably reboot the computer on you and then, you know, because they'll hit the wrong button.
So I'm
That's
just
still
looking at
me.
There you
It's a mess.
well, thinking that in my computer room upstairs. And
very
gathered up all of the cables and they filled the grocery sack.
Yeah. I have tubs.
We are having so many wire issues.
I have popcorn tins,
Ah,
microwave box.
go. That is cool.
I actually pitched a whole bunch of cables.
it's very similar to what Vicente's doing, only he's using an
Oh,
8x8 maker.
Somehow mouse.
The round
to it,
screen?
No.
Made a nest
No, it's
and
called,
shoot half of them up.
Yeah.
No,
And I looked in there and I was like,
no.
I
I don't
pulled
think
out
it's
the
an
two
Arduino.
really expensive
I think it's a
cables,
TFT.
a cable that was in really good shape. That was a old serial cable.
But it's a very similar idea to what you're doing, only you're using a matrix.
2 eyes.
Cool.
That's just still makes me.
That's just hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, real scary.
Yeah.
Like a drunk Pac-Man.
Be nice.
All we need now is the wonka 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 wonka.
You need to add a motion sensor in there so it makes noise. Ooh, crows. Does it only do 3 sounds? Oh, it's Ray.
Greetings, Ray.
Ray. It would be Ray.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's in person.
Problem with this pump, this setup is it's kind of compressed in there and the OLED keeps, or the TFT keeps wanting to pop out of its case.
You need a make a little more room to put a little screw cap to hold them.
Something. I don't know if it's gonna go on this display or not. Service.
Service there? How many
No,
hours?
I just-
Have there? Oh, visitors.
These took about 4 hours to print. Two of these took like 3 hours. And I printed 6 of the small ones at a
Small one.
time. And they took 3 hours maybe for 6 of them.
Yeah, you weren't doing that.
These stupid ones that I printed with multiple color and printed black. 4 of them took almost 5 hours, and these are tiny little so and so and so and so.
I did that big black scary pumpkin. I tried one and it was gonna be like this big. Yeah, gosh, I swear it was gonna be 12.5 inches. All one big print. And
Did it keep failing?
my printer incorrectly recognized a spaghetti mismatch. And the reason is because the printer lost power, like the whole building lost power. And I tried to restart it, but I think part of it moved. So it's not happy. Then I ended up making it a little bit smaller, and I did one that's about 10 inches. So yeah, I printed the main part and the lid side by side on the HDD. Right, good. Yeah, you remember the little the gnome sniper?
Mhm.
I did one of those. I mean, me like one of those.
That one by it, the same one. It's the same one that's not colored, and it took like. I did 3 or 4 of them at one time, and it took 45 minutes.
The scary ones is pretty cool.
Well, we don't need this setting, you know. 13?
Somewhere between 13 and $20. Depends on what you buy. Hobby Lobby.
You didn't modify your printer to print 2-minute, didn't you?
No, I did not do that.
Really?
That seems
I'm depressed to hear that. I figured you were right on that.
that seems utterly very interesting, but pointless.
Depends on what you're making.
Rabbit,
Good dumb pumpkins.
the girl.
I printed this one with my old printer.
Mhm.
This was a 12-hour print,
Yeah,
going down to 4 hours,
make a
Yeah.
difference.
even with some minor imperfections. I am incredibly happy.
I'm not a coin designer, so it's a little odd. I think that they look a whole lot better if you put a date on them and more writing. Like these are they're pretty blank. But I think that like even this, if I would have put Pirate's Gold, just the wording, or Pirate Gold at the top and then date at the bottom. Any date would be fine.
What are these, Ray? Are these part of your Halloween?
These are part of my Halloween. This is they will be the gold coins, but they will be painted gold. I don't know if I'll probably will paint them gold first, then laser engrave them. Yeah, I think I'll-
Can't really see.
Sorry.
Camera. It's kind of got some glare or something. Be careful, don't go too far, because we've already disconnected the camera.
That's your limit.
That's it.
So,
We've already come through that once.
my favorite girl, full size coasters.
Or there's, you know, whatever.
Well, it's a little, there's a glare.
Yeah, there's a weird flare from the.
Oh,
Oh, my face.
That's impressive.
Laser cut.
There was
Turn day. There you go. I'll get the glare, yeah.
Did you guys see the joke on that was going around on Facebook about a day ago? You know, it was about bats, vampire bats. So the vampire bats were sitting in their little area or whatever, and one of the younger bats comes home from the nest, and it's got blood dripping on its fangs and all over its face, and said, "Oh wow, the newbie's found some food," and he's like, "Where'd you get it?" And he said, "I'll show you." So they fly out into the woods, and he takes them over, and he said, "See that tree?" And then so all the whole family of vampire bats said, "Yeah, we see that tree." Well, I didn't.
I've got about 45 different of these coins, and that's not with, changing the borders and stuff. But I'm just, been playing around with the coin ideas, and
Are you giving these out for Halloween or what's?
they take about 2.5 minutes to make each, but I want to make enough that basically it fills up my
Treasure chest.
treasure chest.
Oh, your church, yeah.
So, I mean, but I didn't want them all to be exactly the same coin, but in doing the design, Pirates of the Caribbean, so
Coins.
I had to have a rabbit, obviously. So there's a rabbit.
Wonder where that idea came from.
So this says Pirates Gold on it. But you can see like this one is a clock type. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 o'clock on top, 6 on the bottom, and so forth. Right. Compared to this one's just an Aztec. And this one is actually it's nautical kind of deal.
That's kind of cool.
North, south, east, west. So it's 16, 12, 12. 16 point. But I was at a customer today. I was in Hamilton delivering a laser machine to Hamilton High School. And here you go.
That one.
This while I was there, I found some wood that was appropriately the right thickness for doing some token coins, and I thought, yeah, all right, nothing better to do. Might as well just pull out my own project files and start cutting my own stuff. So I mean, just as practice, but the more that I cut them, I'm like, okay, this border is the wrong size, this border doesn't match, this is a little bit more too detailed, this doesn't have enough detail, this still has a watermark in the background. Which of the borders do I really like? And do I want to pick one coin and make 200 of them and give those coins away? I don't know.
How long do those coins take to print?
Anywhere from a minute 20 seconds to 2.5 2 minutes.
They're laser cut though.
They're all laser engraved.
Oh, these are not 3D printed. Okay.
They would take a lot longer if they were 3D printed.
Uh-oh. The camera's freaking out again.
But the resolution quality is so much better with the laser compared to 3D prints.
Are you using your laser or the competition one?
I was using one of mine. Go down here and play with the Thunder Laser.
I mean, because they're different.
But it's just me, practicing with which designs do I like. I've decided that, like just looking at these two, okay, I think it definitely looks better having a date, something to fill in the empty space, and then put Pirates Gold on it. Looking at the nautical stuff, to write Pirates Gold into it would be so much better. It's from a photo, yes. That one's from a photo, yes, and this one's from a photo. All the rest of them are basically clip art. They're vector artwork. These two are actually photos. I wanted these two to be done with from photos, but because they look better. Because it has to engrave the photo, then it comes back and engraves all the other stuff, and then cuts the outside edge. That's something here. 2 minutes. But if I decide on which one I want, I can just put my material in there and tell it to engrave 50 of them. Yeah, but this is, gosh, not even a third, the fourth of the designs that I have on file. I did all these designs while I was on vacation. But these are also cleaned in different methods. So I was also experimenting with the cleaning technique. So you can see how the background on this one is completely different from the background on that. But the engraved power speed settings are the same. They just have a different cleaning technique.
Well, what's the thing to do, just kind of like, let's start the top with the, what is there, something
So,
different?
these two are cleaned with, LA is totally awesome first. Basically, it's spray, toothbrush back and forth. It basically dissolves all the sap.
Okay.
And then, I dab the paper towel and then I saturate it with alcohol. And it takes a lot of the coloring out of it, which I don't like. I would rather have a good contrast of color like we have here.
Right.
But that is completely based on wood and no spray on it. So if I go and spray it with gold or bronze or whatever from different spray paints, I don't know if it won't stick to this or if it, the texture comes out better on this. I don't know.
Thing I would think too, but something like that coin, you lose it, wouldn't you?
I'd probably lose everything if you spray that with gold. That whole photo would just be gone because where these are very much tactile. You can feel the depth. Okay? But these, because it's grayscale, I would want to spray the wood first, then laser it and see how it comes out.
What size are equal, the material?
Yes. There's special on the back door.
Well, I was noticing the indenture of your skulls. This guy has one tooth in the middle.
Is there something wrong with him?
How many-
Oh, one tooth in the middle? I didn't decide. It probably that good part, man. This guy's got a lot more teeth.
Yeah,
Look at how many teeth he's got.
there's one guy in there's got about 40.
Considering he's a pirate and he's got all that teeth left, yeah, that's not surprising. That's probably more of an appropriate teeth. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. That sounds, got 40 of them like that.
40 something teeth.
Yeah.
What the heck was that?
I don't have any crow sound though. You got a crow sound. I like that.
Mine's all storyline stuff. It's I got an actor off of a voice text-to speech on the internet, and I just typed in the storyline and different segments, and it's sort of talking to him. So there's a whole storyline to it. Pretty neat. I figure if there's not a kid right up at the chest, then it'll just play the storyline.
No,
So,
I actually finally found the model and I did it. Yeah. I printed them. I used yeah. What's this? That just the delta is easy to find. Beam me up. The delta is easy to find. It was. I found out that QR code that they had me scan. It told who made the original file.
Okay.
And once I found out who made it, I was like, oh, piece of cake, found it. So I printed it twice with two different, that's silk gray, so it's kind of got a shimmer to it. And that's black gray, but I did the top layer,
Smoothing,
the top layer smooth.
ironing.
That's what it's called. I couldn't think of it.
Hi, Steve.
And
Hello.
it kind of stringed out a little bit, but the ironing part of it looks really good. So. I couldn't think of what it was called. Ironing
With an eye,
with an eye.
not to be confused with a Y.
Or an IE.
I was wondering on these coins, if you use a stippling brush, if you could get just the surface of those.
That one does a stippling type of it's called stucky, the type of artwork in order to get the girl picture to look better. But are you talking about like just how to get the gold on there to look better?
Well, that's what I was talking about, is a brush that is round and all the bristles are the same length. And you touch it against the gold, and then you touch the.
I don't know. Practice some different techniques. But once I decide what technique I want to do with the coins, I want it to be something easy.
There are a bunch of kids in our circle, and be like, here, paint these. Like the buttons.
I had to have record. Maybe I'll flip them all over and put rapid lazy on.
That way, if some of them walk off, you're still
I would walk
advertising.
up with it. Yeah.
It's still advertising and we can write it off. See how that one kind of strained? I mean, if you look at it real close, you can see little strings, but it ironed out pretty good. It turned out pretty good. I need to take a toothbrush or something to go over it real good with it. Get rid of those strings. The first one I ironed had little divots in it, like it looked like the hot end set on certain parts too long, but it was extruding too much material.
I hate to tell you, but in a century, this is not gonna be next to the Fabergé eggs in the Smithsonian.
Can be with enough money. If the Smithsonian still exists.
But that said, it's nice.
You slap $100,000 on the Smithsonian's hand, I'll happily place it where you like.
Probably will. Maybe with a very small sandpaper. TV. So listening to that scream reminded me when I was a freshman in high school. A friend of mine moved and his old home was vacant. So on Halloween, we went over and flashed the lights on and off inside the house. And all the neighborhood trick-or-treaters would come up and looking in the windows and stuff. And I was the third party accomplice. So I walk up off the street behind the kids and say, what's going on? And they're telling me that, there's lights flashing and stuff. I was in the door. And the people inside the door opened it from the inside, grabbed me and dragged me into the house. So I'm screaming and they closed the door. the neighborhood kids get worried about it. Break the glass on
Oh.
the top of the call. It's like, this took a bad turn.
Can't imagine why. At least they tried to rescue you.
Yeah. Well, my friends who moved didn't ask permission from his parents to do it, so we didn't get in trouble once, we got in trouble twice. At the time, it seemed like it really was.
Well, and you remember it well, right?
Yeah.
Was worth doing.
Some of those kids just about let their hands.
Oh, they're glued.
Guys, he's got one in his hand.
Well, those are. That one's not glued. That one became unglued.
I need like a windshield washer, windshield wiper motor. I'm hesitant to go to the junk fair, like when the month
What is it you wish you could accomplish?
you all do this.
I just don't know.
You need not only the motor, but the arm,
Well, I can make the arm.
I always understand when I was a kid, was asking for them for my brothers, always with.
So basically what I want is for the head to be sitting there, you know, the collarbone goes across. And when this is what I want, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it. As much as I get delayed with work and everything, I don't know if I'm gonna get my Frankel done. But when the lid comes open, I want one hand to basically rock over the edge and like he's grabbing me outside of the chest. And all it does is just like this. And it happens with the door opening. That way it seems like there's some animation to, you know, the door opening.
The reason I ask is I have a motor and eccentric gear drive out of a hedge trimmer. That
Way too fast. So I want the other arm, but basically to be magnetically held to the top of the chest, like it's pushing the lid open. So it's gonna be doing. And the way the top of the chest is, there's plenty of room for the skeleton head to stay still. So as the chest opens, it's just barely missing the skeleton.
When you're actually doing that on that, that's kind of.
You recognize that?
it's a starter kit.
It's a starter. I couldn't get it to power on. And it fell on my head, so it gets to go to somebody else's house. It's a tablet, Android tablet out of a treadmill, but I couldn't get it to power up.
And it beat you up.
And it beat me up, so I don't want it anymore. It got on my list. It made my list.
I thought it was kind of interesting, but I never did anything with it.
No, I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting too, but I put it in the tried to get it to power on, tried to do a half a dozen different things to get it to power up. Couldn't get it to power up.
As I recall, it powered up when I first got it. It was part of the trim.
Yeah. Well, I believe it, but I couldn't get it to power up. So I threw it in the storage thing. I opened the storage thing the other day and it all came crashing down. You recognize that? No,
Restaurant, yeah.
that came from that auction. Now, I did get this to power up, but without the software, I don't know what to do with it. So if anybody wants this, if anybody doesn't want it,
What's it do?
it powers up and has a Miami University logo on it. And then sits there and acts like you should be able to push buttons. But there's no software behind it, so. Apparently you can reprogram it if you have the software to reprogram it. I opened it up, there is an SD card in there, it's some interesting.
That would be, you might be able to put certain files on the SD card.
The SD card is formatted in a weird format that Linux doesn't even recognize,
Okay.
which I said,
Frank Helms, so he was one of the people that was at that, he might know something.
I don't
You don't
know,
know.
I don't want it, Ray.
I'm wondering how Frank's
It,
doing it.
it fell on my head. It fell on my head, I don't want it.
One of the things that fell on your head.
It's one of the things that fell on my head, I don't want it. That's what's wrong with me, it fell on my head.
Well, you're better off now than you were before.
It,
Like 24 volts?
power over Ethernet, I think. I can't remember, I think it was 24 volts, yes.
It said 24 volts right there.
Oh, well, okay. Then I guess it was 24.
24, 1, 2, and G, so.
Well,
Well, I guess that's just for the sensor.
I don't know. I know that I powered it up with,
Find it off, like that machine.
it's some sort of video Ray knows what it's for, some sort of video conferencing thing.
Video conferencing accessory.
No, it's not a
Video
red,
conferencing accessory.
it's something that kind of does what you could switch inputs and everything, and I guess it sits on a desk and you can control what you're doing right from there. And it's got a touch screen,
So how do you open it up? Take those two screws off and then just.
yeah, I think it wasn't hard to open, 2 screws and maybe a top, maybe a.
Six small screws. Big ones.
There you go. Those were my toys that I brought that I don't want anymore.
That's so many products.
And I brought the Oculus. It's in the car. Okay, never mind.
How did the,
About.
A while ago, my I guess he's a son-in-law. He gave me a broken Oculus and I had told you about it.
Oh, okay. You want me to take a look at it or something?
And I wanted to see if it worked for you, and now
Oh.
it fell on my head. And now if it works, you can keep it, and if it doesn't work, you can keep it. It's yours.
I see, Bob.
how did the orange ability, which, that I got you? Is some of these from there?
Hand Ray,
Is that it?
that's. And that little one right there is part of that orange.
Okay. Did it seem okay?
Seems like it worked fine. It's a slightly darker color orange.
Yeah.
But-
Well, that stuff looks like it's darn near pink.
It's not pink. It's orange.
If that was clear, you put orange light in it?
This one's clear, yeah. Well, not, it's translucent,
Translucence is about way.
right,
That's how cool that is.
that's kind of cool. That's a great addition to the Halloween project.
It definitely knocked down the light shining in my eyes.
Sorry.
Not your fault. Frank took the pumpkin.
There you go.
Yeah, the diffuser works really well, doesn't it? I think the small ones turned out better than the large one. But considering that took 12 hours on my old printer down to 4 hours, I'm happy.
My big one took 14 hours. I was like, good grief. The big one I did,
It never-
14 hours and only got this tall. The wall thickness was just ungodly. I mean, the wall thickness was like this. It's like, holy crap. It's,
Simulator of real funky.
It's a real
yeah. I was like, holy
It's
crap.
a problem. Maybe.
Scaling issue, yeah.
Let me see.
It was meant to be like
It doesn't matter.
5 inches. I scaled it up to this, so instead of being 4-inch wall, it ended up being a 5/8 of an inch wall, or inch and a half.
It doesn't really
was
look
huge.
good, but you can see it glowing, sort of.
You put like hot glue down in the infill area and use it as a bowl. Like that much filament, you don't want to just throw it away. That's half a pumpkin. I was like, it's garbage. But yeah, it was a ton of fun. Holy crap.
I was gonna have those all light up, but I think Steve suggested putting faces on the ones that move, so it's a little bit more obvious that things are moving.
I agree.
So,
I agree, Steve. Whatever you do.
whatever he says. Steve knows stuff.
Steve knows stuff.
Sometimes it's stuff that other people wouldn't go also.
Sometimes.
So I picked up a 4K TV out of the trash. Water hose, plugged in. Nothing. Wouldn't turn on. No, take the back off of it, start looking at the boards, don't see anything obvious. So it's bound for the trash. So I'm disassembling. Chunking stuff in the trash. And at the very last, I look in the control panel where the power button is. Has a little swing arm that holds the contact where it's supposed to be.
And that was broken.
The
Broken
swing
power
arm is
switch.
broken. And it's like, I'm not putting this back together on the off chance that that was really what was the matter when you stacked right in.
Probably all it was.
Probably all it was.
Was it?
Oh, it was some really weird. SIKA,
Oh, the side.
yeah,
I was just wondering how big it was.
it's 43.
Oh, I am a 43-inch Samsung really.
Well, I mean,
Computer monitor.
Yeah, I mean, that one that I brought in, is a little bit.
Where's the old scopes? No, we didn't buy the other stuff.
Yeah,
Me and Ray both
the
went up there to that auction.
Ray gave me a power supply. and
Oh, okay. Got it fixed.
Steve, yeah, brought in a supply, that's all it was missing. And once I got it going, I discovered the reason it had been thrown away. The setting was that it would turn off after 3 seconds. So I just went in and did a factory reset.
My next door neighbor, she's old and she said something was wrong with her television. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. She got a new service with the cable television. And he was like, yeah, your old television's not compatible. She ends up buying a brand new television and everything. She's like, Ray, can you come over here and help me carry this thing to the road? I carried it right over my home door. So it's it's huge. I mean, huge. I'm like, I can carry this to your garbage bin. I mean, you should put it on Facebook Marketplace or something. Try to sell it. She's like, no, just help me carry it to the road.
No, if other people are going to get this cable, they're not gonna be happy.
So it's sitting in my son's little bedroom, just pointed at the wall. No use for it, well.
Well, my nephew and I are driving down the road, my wife's on the car. And we look, and there's a contractor wheelbarrow sitting out there by the edge of the road. So we stop the car, open the trunk, and we're looking at it, trying to figure out how's the best way to get this contractor wheelbarrow in the trunk of the car. And we're studying it. The woman opens the door, she goes, "It's missing a bolt."
Yeah, you told me about it. It's like a bowl.
Missing a ball.
I'm sorry, I repeat myself.
What?
We're missing a bowl. It's like $1.50 at most for exactly the right bowl.
If I don't have exactly the right bolt, the ton of bolts I have in my garage,
They don't make
They
it.
don't make it. I was gonna say,
left-hand metric or something like that.
I got them going from tiny little speck to like freaking.
Yeah. So my nephew, lived close to my grandmother.
How many hours it take me to find the right one?
And the water was leaking in the meter pit. And the city came by, turned off the water, and the tenants called mom, and she called my nephew, and he comes over, he looks in there. And they had turned the water off, so he gets on the key, turns the water back on. City comes by and turns it off, so I said, "You turn this water back on." So they put a window weight in there. So they looked in those, see what it's done, they raised the end of it, tapped it. So he goes home and welds a bolt onto the end of the rod. Pulls it way out, takes it home, retaps it left hand metric. Puts it back down in there, so the city comes by and turns the water off again, they can't get to the way. It's not. That was the end of the story, they just gave up. No, I wouldn't have it with that thing up there. Oh, he did great.
I thought you had a leg.
No, I do. Well, I do have a lathe, but it's a wood lathe. And it's for big stuff.
You still have my leg, right?
I do, and that's for small stuff. I was,
Was telling me you didn't have a left hand bolt. I was like, you got a leg, you can make a left hand bolt anytime you want.
it's a wood lathe. I worked on that the other night, and I confirmed one thing, I do not have the skill level to do what I wanted to do.
Well, bring it back, I'll help you do it.
Okay. I went through though, and I think I mentioned it was misadjusted and there were some missing parts, so it's working now.
I talked to the previous. Joe. He was like, "Oh, yeah, it's just fine." I rebuilt his laser on Monday. That's how I got the paper lathe. But he's got probably 4 lathes sitting right there in the middle of the shop. And 2 out of the 4 are automated for making the baseball hat. We just put them in the billet and other which pattern they make and it's the baseball hat. Just like that.
We used to have a really nice, the Japanese lathe, the company used it for fishing rods. But they had taken the chuck out of it. For how they mounted the fishing rods or whatever, so. But it was the Japanese lathe, so it's like that's not available here in the States to get the chuck for it, because it has some kind of weird tougher. Guy gave it to the guy we were renting from. I'd love to have that, because we probably could have ordered that.
Or made it.
Chuck, yeah,
I have metal lathes, gear lathes,
yeah,
so if you guys think you make a left hand metric thing.
but it was a nice little small one, it was, I don't know about that long or something like that. They actually moved it around on a dolly. Cause it was, but it like, looked like it's brand spanking new though, because you know how long they'd had it, but all they were doing was like putting the tips for. Milling the tips to put the tip on the end of the fiberglass rods or whatever. It's like, it hadn't even been worked.
I got my two metal lathes that I have. One is they're both geared to do threading. One probably about yay big, 400 pounds, sits on top of the bench, hasn't moved out of place. We use it plenty,
Oh, okay.
but it hasn't moved out of place in years. 12 years. Brought it in, set it up. I burned a motor out on it, and then had to give the motor. You know, but our other lathe, yeah, I'm not doing it. Unless you use a forklift.
Yeah, I got experience in places. My father used to have a 2 of them, huge, in the company. So I designed robots with all kinds of aluminum, copper, and everything. So I remember I used a small tablet, or how we got to reach the plants.
That's
Not purple.
But my father teach me a lot. Careful to do the body and the work, everything. The speed between materials, different speed, different angles, everything. Now I using the light in my makerspace in the high 13.
I remember going to take my little working class, we had to make a hammer. And they had like the little bit for putting like diamond squares into the metal. Like it was like a little roller that was.
Neuralink.
Yeah, and
To make little
it's just, do like texture text diamonds. And the teacher's like, yeah, you gotta cramp this down because you can only make one pass. And I'm like, what do you mean you can only make one pass? You just stop before you get to the end, put it in reverse and run it backwards the other way. And it'll, you know, chew it down some more and then turn it back the other way and go back the other way. And he's like, you can't do that. And I was like, sure, why not? And he's like, well, here, let's see what we, let's see what you do. So I did like 2 or 3 passes like that. And he's like, holy crap. The problem though, I learned though, is if you do that, all those little pyramids get very sharp and you really don't want to use the hammer.
You said doo-doo.
Yeah.
So the one that you had was it only one direction? I mean, as you went across?
Well, so it did like like one wheel cut
Yeah,
this way, one wheel cut that way, and you did it, so it put like a checkered pattern of diamond pyramids. So there's like when you got to the one side, then it, what he thought was you just could only go across.
Yeah.
But if you stop before the rollers came off, you're still in the track, so you just turn it
back.
and you go back and
Sign.
yeah, so it just crawl back and then crawl back and it did and made like perfect little diamonds. And but the problem was and I still have that hammer, it is because all those little points, when you bing something, you feel them all. You don't lose the hammer, but you can feel all those points. But he was always impressed. He was like, I can't believe you thought you figured out how to do that. I just thought it was pretty common sense to me. As long as the roller doesn't come off, they're all on the same track still.
Well, the roller that impresses them is freewheeling, so it's not geared or anything.
Yeah,
So once you have the imprint, it's gonna follow that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it had like, I don't know, like, I can't remember if it was 2 or 4 sets of little wheels. I was like, as long as you stop before you went off the end of the material, you can just turn it backwards and it'll stay in the same grooves. So.
You got it engaged in the auto feed, right?
Well, there wasn't auto gauge back then. It was all.
Well,
yeah. It was a lot of hand cranking. And then you tap it a little bit and tighten it up again and then.
Using both hands to keep pace when I want to finish something, just continue, never stop, using both hands to try to make it smooth. The last pass. You change the pace and the design change and you do the finish.
Lots of fun. Miss those classes. They don't teach them anymore, evidently. They got rid of all that stuff at our schools.
So I see, you guys know, I go to a lot of different schools for delivering laser machines. There are a lot of schools that are removing all of the lathes and mills because they believe they're too dangerous for kids to use. Specifically the lathes. They don't want kids using a chop saw.
Well, you
compound
can't
miter
make
saw.
anything like a, gun or something.
Yeah, and so it's very dangerous.
Radio arm saw, they didn't want them to use them. They're basically telling them, nope, not gonna put it in school. There's too much in the liability. They'll let them use a scroll saw because it's going up and down and you can jam your finger in there and it'll give your finger back. But there's some schools, the districts are just incredibly conservative and they're like, nope, can't even have a bandsaw. It's crazy to me.
We don't have, our school doesn't even have shop classes anymore. They're all gone. And the vocational school doesn't even do auto body anymore. So,
When I was in grade school, I guess it was 6th and 7th grade, we had a wood shop there in the grade school. And I forget what the power equipment was now that I go back and visualize it, but you had to have a note from the parents in order to use it. My parents didn't have any problems with signing up for me to use anything.
I just figured it was great.
Yeah. So about half the kids in the class couldn't use the equipment because they didn't have permission slip. So I was over there cutting stuff for them. I visited that same school about 3 or 4 years ago. And 65, 70 years different. It's all gone. They don't have a slide in this room.
Don't know how to build anything anymore. That's what I was talking to a guy the other day that does, he builds parts for these old cars. So like, the engine block, makes a new engine block, and said that there's nobody, they said he can count on his hand how many places left in the country that can build an engine block for an old car that are left in the country.
I have 3 customers that make custom gaskets.
Yeah.
They'll make a gasket for any engine size.
Yeah.
And they've been just collecting all the gasket patterns.
Yeah, that's another big mess too. Because the guy that rebuilt the Kubota was like, it's about possible. Look at gasket sitting for anything that's over 5 years old.
Yeah,
When my father got
1903,
19, my father now is 93. When he became 90, I give him a brand new racket because I remember he loves that. So now he has it and do a lot of stuff, just playing. He has like a make space actually in the basement, all the woodworking machines and all kind of metal machines. And he's doing stuff all the time. Mostly automate like scare crops, like robots, but to scare the birds in the
Like scarecrows?
He used to do that a lot, different movements and witches and whatever, what kind of stuff. Many of them use wind movement. Arduino to automate the movement, translate the rotation of the wheel. It's very like this one.
I
The
I remember-
one that my father is
was
very
high
close to
school,
this one.
but we had wood shop and we had metal shop. I remember liking metal shop, but I wasn't too fond of wood shop. And
I get that. Some people just like the different.
but I really, I mean, I really gravitated towards electronics. I went to the electronics school.
Well, that's,
Sorry.
we didn't have any electronic stuff, and my friend was taking like robotics classes, and I was like, I'm in the.
Our electronics,
There were not enough hours in the school day for me to take everything I wanted to take, so I didn't take metal shop, electronics, or
our
wood shop.
our
Wish I had.
our electronics class covered robots and, I mean, it was a general electronics class. I was in high school in 89. Why?
You're the same age as me, 51.
I'm older.
You're older.
Patty-
We didn't have electronics classes in
Are
school.
you talking about 1951?
91.
Patty speaks. I'll be what, 55? 55 this year.
Same Carol's.
Funny how the math quits working after you hit the 5-0.
It all the same.
Well, no, we didn't have electronics class.
Let's say ours didn't either, but my friend who went to some school, they did. They had
Well-
electronics and programming and.
The very next year, I mean, the year I graduated, electronics was cut. It was moved from being at Middletown High to being at Butler Tech. And then I think Butler Tech kind of went, and actually, I'm not real sure what happened with Butler Tech.
Only class I had that our school had that I didn't get to take was that I really wanted to do was silversmithing. And that's because it was always taught during the math classes. So like
I
calculus.
think I took one study hall
Really?
in 10th grade.
All I did was
I did always find it.
all I did was study all of electronics.
We're supposed to graduate with like one major and 2 minors. I graduated with 5 majors.
This is the reason.
Yeah, I take classes all the time. Just constantly take classes. Like even during college, first semester of my senior year, I took 23 credit hours. I mean, 18 or 12 is full time. 18 is pushing it. I took 23.
Yeah.
And I remember it's like the second or third week of the semester, I went in, my instructors were like, "You've been dropped from my class." All of my classes, I got dropped from all of them, not just the hardest ones. They dropped me from all of them. I had to go talk to the dean of the school as to like why I would do something crazy like that. And I explained to them, this semester, just this semester, all of my classes were math. So there weren't any term papers or nothing
My father.
crazy like that. It was all statistics, statics 2,
That's all down in
computer manufacturing. All of it was supporting each other, really. 23 credit hours, all math.
Now I know
It
where
was actually the easiest semester I ever showed in long time. But I mean, I had to take English, anthropology, photography, and all the other stuff. No way. There's no way.
Wow.
But all math.
It's more like.
Yeah.
If you had a biology class, you had to memorize 60,000 words.
Pre-Columbian art.
It's the newspaper every month. It's the newspaper showing stuff.
Always thought it was funny at UC was
I mean, the TV also.
full time got you. I don't remember
I-
exactly how many credit hours it was. But there was a threshold when you hit, and if you went past that, you would start paying for more credit hours.
Mine are
But-
free.
Well, that was,
They are, oh, it's free.
but that was my theory was like, all right, well, if I get 3 classes all the way up to like, what was it, 21 or something like that. There isn't any reason not to go ahead and sign up for what, to get my money's worth, with their- take the electives.
the electronics part. His name was
Forest Mims.
no, Yeah, that would be cool. But his name was Gerald St. Jack. And he was not a teacher. He came right out of the military and went right into teaching vocational school. He was I probably learned more electronics from him than
I guess they did Forrest Mims's.
Who?
Forrest Mims. So he wrote all the Radio Shack electronics
okay.
books.
Yeah.
The,
I have them.
yeah.
I figured he was an
It
officer.
looked like they're handwritten
Yeah, yeah,
notebooks. Yeah, he wrote all of
They-
it.
on graph paper that
I've probably got a few of them.
And now, if you look at them now, the newer ones come out, they're Forrest Mims shoes.
really.
Like it's something.
We recall that one of my drafting teachers in high school was also electronics. And he got a note back from one of his students who had enlisted in the Air Force. And he got a real kick out of it because the guy said, I'm doing house wiring in B-52s.
That's the thing.
Our class covered household wiring and covered other, but it was mostly electronic. It was mostly electronics. But he covered all kinds of stuff. He was a great teacher, but he never was a teacher. He never went and got certified or
So
anything.
when you talk about electronics, are you talking about house wiring, or are you talking about
No.
boards and
So
learning batteries and current and
So the first part of everything was just learning basic stuff, you know, how AC works and all this.
AC?
And then we got into like our senior year, we did robots and we did actual whatever high voltage stuff. I took a TV apart. I don't want to take a TV apart again. The CRT.
I started doing electronics in second grade. And I had a box that I all fishing stuff out of it, put in batteries, diodes, resistors. I learned my color coding. I got my amateur
Yeah.
radio license.
We learned all this.
Did all that stuff in second grade. Sixth grade, I brought in an arc generator that I built, plugged it in a wall, absolutely freaked out the principal and the teacher because it's basically it's a piece of wood, a car coil, relay, and it's going.
He's
They got
making Frank
totally
stuff.
freaked out.
He's making Frank.
I mean, they thought maybe it was gonna go tick or something, and it's just doing these arcs. Absolutely freaked them out.
Well,
It was great.
I mean,
You should.
if you really wanted, I don't think I was that young, but I was taking stuff apart and trying to put it back together when I was very little. I was taking radios apart. I had a long wire out the back so I could listen to almost everywhere I wanted to listen to.
I built a fully functioning telegraph system when I was in seventh grade.
Yeah.
All from my own stuff, and I did it as my science project.
Yeah.
And this idiot eighth grader was the one that came and graded me. He had no freaking idea what it was, what's going on.
Or why it was important.
What's the beep these things for? I was like, you're a freaking idiot. I can't believe you are judging me.
Yes. So the kid whose house we did the prank on, he and I went over to the rock quarry and picked up lots of wire and soldered it together. That's how I learned how to solder. And we soldered enough segments of blasting wire to run a telegraph from his house to my house. And we didn't have any place to really put the wire, so we just threw it over the treetops. Let it hang up there. You recall, this was in grade school. I'm going to school after lunch. Truck passed by, and one of the wires was hanging down. And it snagged all of our blasting wires. And it took 3 blocks worth of wiring. Anyway,
Just glad it was blasting where I'm not dead.
yeah. Oh, this was, translucent yellow insulation, I can remember this day, the segments were, they were blown to hell, so they're ready to, about 4 feet.
I had an intercom system wired up from. Well, it basically wired the entire house, but it went out to the tree house and it went to the garage because those were two places that I was likely to be.
So when I moved into my house in Monroe, it was in 2001. My next door neighbor was pretty cool guy. We buried Cat 5 cable from my house to his house, 3 inches, 4 inches underground. That's it, just barely enough to get under the sod, really. And he got free internet for over a year and a half, and we played Duke Nukem from my house to his house over the network.
Feel like I'm
It's
just
still there. Cat 5 cable still there.
You're missing this.
No, I am not missing that. I do feel like I'm missing a pumpkin.
Oh, it's the one in my pocket, yeah.
By the time you spend, don't you, you earn it.
Maybe I'm not missing it.
That's something.
So, as far as my project, I've got my wife has been trying to keep my weekends open for me to relax. I'll be freaking stressed out.
It's actually chill out,
Yeah.
chillax.
I mean, I am going to Oregon next week, so I will be gone all week. And I have just a few more pieces that are on order and then are supposed to be coming in the mail for the next couple days, maybe. But I need that motor. I need a motor. So,
Next week is the pumpkin festival.
I appreciate your
And where?
Hamilton.
relaxation. I had it.
Pumpkin Festival in
Boston
Hamilton.
said,
Pumpkin runs tomorrow.
"What
Oh,
you
so
do
I don't know who Pumpkin Run is.
Work.
Pumpkin Festival.
and
Right from that, they should have known.
Friday, Saturday. and
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday.
always
Sunday,
handy, so.
I will bring my dog on Friday. This is the day with less people.
This
They are
weekend,
carrying-
I'm actually gonna build the chest. I've got the interior core of the box, it's already there. But I tested my speakers, made sure I had the right airspace. Made sure my amplifiers work, so that's all been tested already. I was testing it with 12 volts, trying to see if I could just run on a 12 volt 5 volt system. I can't, so I'm ended up running a 12 volt 5 volt 24 volts. The 24 volt is for the audio, is if I don't run 24 volt, ends up that once I turn the volume up so much, it starts flipping. It
No,
drops out.
no,
The sound.
no.
So
No, this has to go somewhere
I'll
else.
fit all that stuff
Send it
around.
to Ray. Ray needs that.
No. Don't you do that. I saw you do that.
Seemed pretty legit to me.
It doesn't go in my stuff.
We got like
Stuff your
3 minutes
box.
left. We're in person again next week, so hopefully we'll see you guys.
Okay.
Woody Harrelson,
So
he's
I'm gonna shut down now.
comes into the.
I'll see you guys next week.
I see.
Have a good week. Bye.
All right,
A wiener game.
I've got this new VCR and